Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show. Within the Kenwood star system, Zian is stepping up his efforts to camouflage the starship. Step by step, the starship quickly took shape. As for the girls, it's on one of the planets, depriving everyone in the Kenwood fleet of memories. All the girls are very cautious, because depriving memory is the most difficult. The difficulty is not the memory deprivation, but the screening of memory deprivation. Otherwise, the most likely memory will be the collision and fusion of the memories of the deprived and the deprived. It will be difficult to tell clearly at that time whether you are still yourself or not. Therefore, when depriving, you must be careful, and pay attention again. And the reason why we want to deprive them of their memories? Very simple. That is to understand their usual way of speaking, every move, and daily social activities, etc. This way, it is equivalent to completely incarnating into these people. Whatever you want to do at that time, no one will notice anything unusual. 10 days later, the pretense is over. The brilliant fleet has undergone a big change. It completely turned into the appearance of the Kenwood fleet. The exact same kind. After that, it merges with memory. These memories are mainly a very small part of their living habits, behavior, social circle, etc. Nothing else. So there's not a lot of content. In this way, there is no need to worry about memory confusion. And the fusion of memory, she. It was over in a few hours. After that, it's just a physical disguise. And to disguise the appearance, of course, he had to kill them first, and then Zian became completely familiar with their physical appearance, and then disguised the girls one-on-one. Don't ask why, even if they are dead people, they are not human beings in the universe at all. But after all, they were of the opposite sex, and Zian would never let the girls pretend to be clean in front of corpses like them. Absolutely not. Not even dead. The camouflage was done in just a few days. The beautiful faces and perfect figures of Qin Fuyue and other girls turned into these extremely ugly figures of the Chinese race. It's time to say it or not. During this period of disguise, Zian was not intimate with Qin Fuyue and others. Not even close to each other. The same goes for all the women. When he saw Kenwood's ugly and disgusting appearance, he immediately had an expression of disgust on his face. When Zian came within 3 meters of them, he immediately stayed away. Now, only the last step remains. Can it be successful? It depends on this step, that is, fooled the certification of their optical brainwatch. And the results are no surprise. Perfect disguise. The disguise of the optical brain watch they wore was completely deceived. It is easy to open their optical watch, and almost any content in the optical watch can be easily opened. Even if you just spend money or transfer money, there is no obstacle. It can be done in an instant. This moment, it's all over. In terms of disguise, there won't be any problems. Next. That's part 2 of the plan. Stir up the war between the Inhumans and the insects. And this part, it also takes a lot of time to prepare. For the rest of the time, just continue living here. Halfway. There were indeed many acquaintances and even family members of the Kenwood fleet members who contacted them. Zian and the girls also responded according to their habits. The whole journey didn't arouse anyone's suspicion. At the same time, they can even learn about what is happening on the human side of the universe through the network on the Inhuman side. No doubt. Even if it's the Inhumans, the overwhelming news was also news about himself and the brilliant fleet. There was a lot of abuse. Zian smiled lightly. Hun doesn't care. On the contrary, I was very satisfied with the people that second senior sister Qi Jingi hired to dress up herself and the other girls. They were all quite professional. Because of the disguise during this period, didn't arouse anyone's suspicion. That's great. The life here among the insects is quite new to Zian and the others. But as time went by, it feels like that's really all it is. That's all. Time flies. Another 2.5 months passed. And just today, Zian finally got the information. The planned goal of this operation was finally confirmed. Naturally, they are the super geniuses who are targeting the Inhumans. Maybe it's because he plays his brilliant fleet and has always appeared on the battlefield. The Inhumans have finally relaxed a lot about their precautions. Those peerless geniuses finally stepped out of the protective circle of the super-powerful people of the Inhuman race. Finally, I can go out and move around normally. There are also top geniuses, ordinary geniuses, etc. Perhaps it was to make up for the fact that during this period, the super geniuses of the Inhumans were slightly behind in their cultivation. The Inhumans seem to have specially gathered these unrivaled geniuses for a training session. I don't know how it was trained. Anyway, judging from the locking of Zian's extreme pursuit, those geniuses from the Inhuman race, and the demon heavenly group, most of it is lumped together. It just gave Zian the opportunity to take action. After confirming the genius training from the Inhumans, there are no strong people at Genu level or above around to protect them. Zian immediately became interested. Gather the girls immediately and start taking action. At the same time, over there the Inhumans. The alien race is indeed what Zian guessed. They are preparing to carry out a collective training plan for these geniuses and evil geniuses they have protected. Those with different strengths are trained for the same batch. The highest training target is super geniuses with cultivation levels of vertical star level and below. Because super geniuses with Zhongxing star strength and below have been protected by them for more than 3 years. His cultivation is indeed a bit behind. And this training is also very simple. They just go to the battlefield to fight, and then the superpowers at the supreme level and above give them the most detailed guidance. But currently, their geniuses are still on their way from various places. Currently, there is no super strong person coming. Training young. It hasn't really started yet. This, no doubt, just gave Zian a chance to take action. The Inhumans were divided into 7 groups in this training. Among them, the training group for vertical star geniuses has the smallest number of people, only 22. But they are already all the vertical star geniuses of the Inhumans now. Next is the void level. Then there are the immortals, star destroyers, deep space ships, etc. In battleships have the most geniuses and monsters. Reached more than 500 people. Of course, some of mainly evil geniuses make up the majority. There are not many ordinary geniuses, top geniuses, and peerless geniuses. At this time, they are in a star system, quietly waiting for everyone to arrive. There were more than 500 people in total. Currently, there are only more than 400 people. There are still about 100 people left, and training can begin once the powerful Inhumans arrive. They all seem to be normal. But a piece of news that suddenly appeared suddenly attracted the attention of many geniuses. This news. But it was a last-generation peerless talent named Ken Wuda from the insect tribe who suddenly posted a post on the Cosmic Public Network. The insect race 820, have died so many talented people, the stupid Inhumans must also die. If this generation of insect race's unparalleled geniuses can't do it, then it's up to me, and I will tell the whole universe that Zian is nothing more than that. Once this post was posted, it quickly became a popular post. The humans in the universe all looked at the joke. As for the alien race, it exploded. After all, this Ken Wuda is specifically targeting the Inhumans. Suddenly. Roll. The insect race? Ha ha ha, the rubbish insect race, no matter which generation they belong to, they are the most rubbish. Same as above. Why are you here? You, a peerless genius from the previous class, have arrived at this class, but you are still only at the void level, and you still have the nerve to show your face? Die. Come, we, the Inhumans, are waiting for you. Are you trying to imitate the human race, Zian? There is one saying, although I wish I could eat Zian alive, but regarding his strength and talent, even if I am an alien race, I hate him, but I still obey him. You? Haha. Asterisk plus 10,000. The person above said what I wanted to say. I want to kill Zian and hate him too. But this does not affect that in my mind, Agb is indeed the most talented enemy of this era. He is also a powerful enemy of our Inhumans. Not everyone is Zian. Seeing how arrogant you are, I have to borrow a saying from the human race. The reason why Zian is an unparalleled genius is because the highest person. Dai Tianjiao. As for you? Go to hell. Behind this post. The Inhumans sneered and taunted like crazy. And more Inhumans. While sarcastic, he also brought up Zian for comparison. And actually, what these aliens said is actually what hundreds of millions of people in the universe want to say. Inhumans and insects, it is undeniable that they hate Zian. I wish I could kill him quickly. But I had to deny it again. Countless years. What Zian did, as well as his strength, talent and everything else. It makes people, whether they are Inhumans or insects, angry. There are also countless people from the Inhumans and insects who often lament on the internet. It would be great if Zian was the genius of our Inhumans, insects. The humans of the universe are really lucky. From this sentence, it is enough to see Zian's strength and talent. It is recognized by the whole universe. Even if it weren't for Zian becoming famous too late, or if Zian was born in the same era as the current #1 devil on the proud list, then almost everyone in the universe agrees on one thing. #1 on the list of geniuses, because of the title of Demon King. It must be Zian's. No one can take it away. Now, the peerless genius of the insect race is still the peerless genius of the previous generation, but now he is only a void-level genius, but he threatened to follow Zian's example and take action against the Inhumans, ushered in. Naturally, countless people laughed and ridiculed him. Countless years. Only one, Zian came out. You Ken Wuda, where did you get the courage? So the ridicule continued. But no one took it seriously. No one cares. At this point, from behind this post, it can be seen that there is not even a reply from the insect race. I am afraid. When the Zergmen themselves saw this post, they felt so embarrassed that their toes were about to pierce the soles of their shoes. No, it's a good thing you have courage. But let's just say, can we brag a little, without bragging so outrageously? And tell the whole universe that Zian is nothing more than that? This, our courage is a bit too much. In the brilliant number. Seeing that it has become the #1 post on the trending list. Smile slightly. No more hesitation. A big wave of his hand. With the girls. He flew towards the wormhole in front of him. Inhumans. Within a certain star system. Inhuman battleship level, super genius training gathering place. There were more than 500 people. Now, nearly 500 people have come. Only the last few dozen people were left. The strong men who train them are also preparing for this training. At the same time, the main purpose is to observe the situation of the human race Zian in the universe at any time. Nothing else. Let's put it this way, as long as Zian and his brilliant fleet disappear from the A-level battlefield of Ime Nebula for more than 6 hours, the Inhumans will immediately activate an emergency plan to protect these geniuses again. But, Zian and the brilliant fleet have no intention of taking action against their geniuses again. This also allows the strong men and senior leaders of the Inhuman race to continue making preparations. Training. It doesn't mean you can start just by starting. It is necessary to formulate a detailed training plan and prepare enough materials and resources. But when everyone arrives, it's almost time to start. FFLX. No one noticed. In a certain patch of uninhabited sky 100 light-years away from this star system, a fleet arrived quietly. When the target area star system is determined, there is not even a void ship. No more hesitation. Not even showing his face. 9 starships. Directly utilize ultra-long-range missiles. Lock onto that star system. Emission. This day. For the Inhumans. Definitely a dark day. There are a total of 500 battleship super geniuses, and there are even many geniuses among them. But in an instant, the star system along with it was reduced to ashes. Not even one person escaped. The most important thing is, the Inhumans don't even know who did it. The first reaction was that Zian and Su'a fleet had gone abroad. But learned from information. Zian and his brilliant fleet, at this moment. They are fighting in blood on the A-level battlefield of Ime Nebula. There is no chance or time to take action. This made the strong men and senior officials of the Inhumans angry. Immediately, send super powerful people to investigate and track. But while they are sending out strong men, Zian and the brilliant fleet, we have already entered the wormhole and headed to the next location. After one day, arrive at your destination. This time, there was no ultra-long-range attack option. Because of the target locked this time. They are the super geniuses of 20 or 30 vertical stars. Choose them. It's because the vast majority of these people are unparalleled geniuses. Only a few are the top geniuses. Ordinary geniuses don't have it. Not to mention a monster genius. That's because, at this age, one can reach the vertical star level. There are only top geniuses and peerless geniuses. Even the top geniuses are over 900 years old. This time, even Zian became solemn. 20 or 30 vertical stars. Seriously. This is why Zian and the brilliant fleet are powerful enough. Prior to this, they had just received special training from Wanzhong Mountain and the others. In addition, the performance of the starship itself is incredible. Only in this way can I dare to kill these 20 vertical starships at the void ship level. And they are basically the kind of unparalleled geniuses. Although Zian is confident. But there is one thing to say. An accident. That's the result of a ship being destroyed and everyone killed. I won't say much else about the rest. Zian said solemnly, after so many years of cooperation, I believe you have enough tacit understanding. Next, I have only one request. Give me your best firepower and kill the enemy completely. Don't worry about the consumption of bioenergy and evolution values. Don't worry about the consumption of ammunition. There is only one goal, which is to kill them. Zian finished speaking. The solemn voices of the women also sounded in the communicator. No. Do not worry. We know that. All the girls knew the danger of this operation. Listening to the words of the girls, Zian smiled slightly. He waved his hand and said in a deep voice, then. Article. The words fell. Take the lead, the first one to kill towards the target star system. High-ranking Inhumans. At this moment, they all frowned, and their faces were ashen. They never expected it. No more, Zian. The geniuses of their inhuman race still suffered a devastating blow from the positional forces. The most important thing is, until now, they still don't know who the enemy is, whether it comes from the human race or the insect race in the universe. Even other races in the universe. It's all possible. I was so angry that I didn't know who to vent to, just as they were discussing how to deal with it. Suddenly, an urgent message made their expressions change again. Enemy. Attacked again. And this time, He actually took action directly against the top-level geniuses they were training this time. His wolfish ambition made the senior leaders of the Inhumans furious. But soon their expressions were all stunned. Because judging from the urgently transmitted information, they already know who the enemy is. Because at this moment, the other party has already fought against his own star-level geniuses. And the enemy? But it is a fleet of the insects. Void-class fleet? These high-level Inhumans were stunned. The next second, more information came through. The Inhuman Intelligence Department quickly targeted the insectoid Kenwood fleet. Moreover, they also immediately found the post of Captain Ken Wuda on the Universe Public Network, which threatened to imitate the human race Zian. Before taking action, it was even made clear that they would take action against the Inhumans. But no one cared. After all, you said you can do it with your hands? You can do it if you want to? Let's not talk about taking action yet. Simply speaking, it is extremely difficult to lurk among the Inhumans and enter their territory. 0, please give me flowers. Do you really think their Inhuman border defense is shit? And after coming in, how can you take action? When sailing in my alien race, the probability of being discovered in advance is infinite. However, but the other party did it. Not only that. Just now, Captain of the Ken Wuda fleet, Ken Wuda, before the second operation. Still on the public network, there was another paragraph after that post dash. Declare responsibility for the destruction of 500 super geniuses of the insect race yesterday. As soon as these words came out, the enemy was immediately locked onto the Ken Wuda fleet. Damn it, damn it. But that's not the point. The point is, how did they do it? They were still in the battleship genius training area yesterday. Did you suddenly come to this area today? 0, you know, the fields are extremely far apart. The most important thing is Adelaide. A mere fleet of void ships. How dare you take action against a total of 29 vertical star geniuses? Do they really think they are Zian? Just when the senior leaders of the Inhumans were shocked. Soon, the latest news is delivered again. And this news, the expressions of the senior leaders of the Inhumans suddenly changed dramatically. The two sides fought for only about a minute. The number of deaths of our own side's star geniuses has exceeded 7 ships. And the other party, although some starships were also seriously injured. But not even a single starship was destroyed. See here. The senior leaders of the Inhumans suddenly panicked. I couldn't stop wondering why this little-known void ship fleet of the insect tribe could actually leapfrog its own fleet and even outnumbered its own by nearly 3 times. Instead, he immediately issued an order to the nearest strong men and asked them to go to support immediately. At the same time, he also issued an emergency order to the talented geniuses in the computer room who were fighting, telling them to disperse and evacuate immediately. Then, among the higher-ups of the Inhumans, there was an annihilation-level powerhouse who personally took action. Extremely furious. It's okay for Zian, the human race, to come. Now. You buggers are coming too. You Zerg people have lost so much, shouldn't you seek revenge from the humans? Why did they find us, the Inhumans? Have we, the Inhumans, taken action against the geniuses of your insect race? Do you think we Inhumans are easy to bully? Angry. Very fast. Go straight to the spot and beg. After 3 years of special training by a group of the strongest humans in the human race, the brilliant fleet has reached the void ship level. First full-out battle. Its fighting power is terrifying. Even Zian and the girls themselves. They were all amazed. Again. The lower the starship level, the greater the gap. But that's for others. The era of the immortal ship. Zian and the other girls were able to blow up a vertical starship. The era of void ships. 29 Tianjia starships, despite the pressure. 18.2, just 1 minute, he killed several of the opponent's ships. And, along with the decrease in the number of opponents, stress is also reduced step by step. The end result is, in the first minute and a half, the opponent's losses exceeded 12 ships. Terrifying fighting power. The 593 geniuses of the inhuman race, who were originally full of cruel smiles and sarcasm, all turned pale and pale. As soon as he received the order from the top management, he immediately began to disperse and escape without even thinking about it. Their escape behavior had been anticipated by Zian long before the battle began. Under such circumstances, how could it be possible for them to escape easily? Zian didn't even need to give an order. The 6 girls are Hu Qiqi, Qin Fuyue, Haitang, Mu Ziqiu, Miao Xiaomi, and Lu Yuyu. It immediately changed from a devastating suppressive strike to an ultra-precise positioning strike. Other areas are ignored. Fight specifically for their engines. Force. All concentrated in their engine area. The 3 years of special training were completely revealed at this moment. Those incredibly accurate artillery shells and missiles destroyed the opponent's starship engines over and over again. They frantically consumed evolution points and made emergency repairs before it was too late. Not only that. In the past 3 years, the girls have not only been specially trained to fight alone. Most of the time, they were also specially trained in team combat capabilities. After all, they are a team, and fighting as a team is their strongest state. And the result of super strong team combat capabilities is, they didn't even need much communication with each other, as if they had a clear understanding of each other, they cooperated perfectly with each other, and the combined loss of shells and missiles was reduced to less than 10%. What is the coincidence loss rate of artillery missiles? For example, the 2 daughters, Hu Qiqi and Qin Fuyue. Hu Qiqi is responsible for enemy A's starship energy shield. After 1/3 of her shells were fired, she immediately turned the muzzle to target the next target. Almost at the moment when her cannonball penetrated enemy A's energy shield, Qin Fuyue's cannonball followed closely behind, almost consuming the enemy's armor. Then follow closely. It was Haitang who took action and completely destroyed the opponent's core armor. At last, it was Miao Xiaomi or Lu Yuyu who took action. Blow up the opponent's engine. The fit is perfect. There is no unnecessary consumption of artillery shells, everyone performs his duties and has his own mission. Cooperate like this. The overlapping losses of artillery missiles were reduced to a minimum. Efficiency is greatly improved. After all, for example, if Master Hu Qiqi's attack mainly causes maximum damage to the enemy's energy shield, it will not cause maximum damage to the core armor. More shells and more time will be wasted for nothing. Not maximizing the effect. But now we cooperate. There are only a dozen starships left. Almost around. The girls blew up all their engines. You can't escape even if you want to. Even if the evolution value is consumed crazily for repairs. But the second round of coordinated attacks from the girls also came. Their engine repair level has not even reached 6%. He was beaten up by the girls again. While they were escaping. Also fought back crazily. 18. There are 2 girls from Thailand and Thailand. The girls of Qin Fuyue are basically safe, and the ammunition consumption of the girls has always been maintained at its best. Because the supplies provided by Bai Xiaoyuan and Chu Tianga have always been quite timely and appropriate. Whenever their ammunition is exhausted. Ammunition supplies from Bai Xiaoyuan and Chu Tianga always appear at this time. The efficiency of support is astonishingly high. Moreover, their maintenance of the Taimei and Taj starships was extremely good. Match the evolution values of the 2 girls Taimei and Taj. It can be said. Even in the face of attacks from so many enemy starships, this can keep the damage level of their starships at around 7,000%. No drop. This is extremely scary data. At last. That's Zian. Zian. Completely transformed into a death-like existence on the battlefield. The enemy's remaining dozens of longitudinal starships lost their engine power. In front of Zian, it's like a fixed target. #XT. Zian's attack accuracy is so high that it's outrageous. Let's put it that way. 10,000 rounds of artillery shells. I am afraid. At most, only 10 shells will be intercepted by the opponent, the remaining artillery missiles. They all rushed towards each other's cockpit. Just ask. In this situation, who the hell can bear it? Forget about the vertical starship. Even if the Jinyu ship is here, it can only wait to die. In fact, it is. Such a one-sided killing. It lasted less than 5 minutes. The last inhuman vertical star genius was beaten to death amidst the unwilling roar. And the reason why it takes 5 minutes, that is because the final 3.5 minutes. The girls mainly went to attack the enemy's engine. If the other party doesn't run away and is strong-faced, a maximum of 3 minutes and no more than 4 minutes. These 29 vertical starships. They will all turn into the dead souls shot by everyone. There won't be any surprises. 5 minutes. It's all over. Even the dazzling fleet still has time to search the star system. The search targets are mainly natural materials and treasures in the star system, as well as ammunition. Looting is also extremely easy. 5.9, because before taking action, Jiang Yaoyao has already started searching for intelligence here. Therefore, the treasure house and ammunition depot in this star system have long been sent to everyone's starships. Search with precise positioning, 10 minutes later. The search is complete. At last. A few rounds of artillery shells completely destroy this star system, without hesitation. Turn around and run. Run to the No Man's Sky area. Open the wormhole directly and escape into it. Only the ruins of this place are left. Dats. In the battle just now. Zian's full live broadcast. After the battle, the live broadcast ended. Naturally, no one will know how they escaped. B. All universe. Everyone was in an uproar. Crazy. The whole universe is crazy. There is a clan member, Zian, in front. Now here comes another Zerg, Kenwuda. Although Kenwuda is not as fierce as Zian. But what he did still silenced hundreds of millions of people in the universe. The most important thing is how to move from one point to another extremely far away point in a short period of time. Is it possible? Kenwuda also mastered abilities similar to Zian's? The kind of secret that can defeat the universe? AF. This is the only possibility. The most important thing is the strength shown by Kenwuda and his Kenwuda fleet. What frightened them most? When? Is the peerless genius so worthless? When? The peerless genius is so fragile? For countless years, the emergence of Zian was not enough, and now the bug-human race has appeared again? The aliens were furious. It is said. The Demon King 06, the #1 genius in the inhuman race, felt extremely dull on his face. At that time, he rushed towards the area where Kenwuda was at the fastest speed. At the same time, he threatened to kill Kenwuda and Zian, on the human race side of the universe. They were all surprised. Obviously. I am very shocked that the insect race has a unique talent who can fight beyond the level. Only the insectoids. The insectoids themselves were confused. They never expected it. There is such an extremely talented genius in our own tribe. What followed was ecstasy. Shocking ecstasy. That's what a joy boils over. At the same time, Kenwuda's post on the public forum was also uncovered. This time, no one questions him anymore. Because Kenwuda proved this with his actual actions. over there with the Inhumans. Once again, they implemented an emergency evacuation strategy for their super geniuses. The training originally planned was cancelled urgently. Then a large number of super strong people immediately rushed to the gathering place of these geniuses. Prevent this damn Kenwood from taking another shot at their geniuses, even the human race in the universe. An emergency plan was also immediately activated. However, for some unknown reason, the emergency plan ended up being abandoned. The cosmic human race claims to the outside world that almost all of the super geniuses of the cosmic human race are gathered in the Ime Nebula's exhaust room. AF. There is no need to go out of your way to protect it. But the reality is, Zian sent a message to Master. Leave it alone. This is what happened. And at this moment, Master Wanzhong Mountain, only then did he finally understand what surprise Zian had given him. Tell the truth. When he received the news that the Kenwood fleet was killing the Inhumans, everyone was stunned. Because his first feeling was, why is this behavior so familiar? Then think about it again. He understood something immediately. The immortal-level brilliant fleet on the Ime Nebula battlefield. Plus Zian said before that he wanted to give him a surprise. He still doesn't understand what is going on. It's not just him, a senior member of the pinnacle group of the cosmic human race, as well as a senior member of the elder group. Everyone knows the news. And everyone was indeed pleasantly surprised. They never expected it. Zian. He has not given up on his actions and plans to continue targeting the enemy's super genius. But by using this method, not only did he succeed, he even transferred the hatred. The goal was achieved without causing any more hatred from the human race among the aliens. This is definitely a good thing to make a fortune silently. But immediately afterwards, they were shocked again. Because they suddenly thought, Zian wants to do this, it seems. There is only one possibility. 3 perfect camouflage techniques. Only the starship is perfectly disguised. Personnel perfectly disguised. Identification friend or foe, perfect disguise. Only by putting these 3 perfect disguises together can the insectoids be deceived. After all, I am not a fool. Suddenly, 2 people appeared who were able to fight across different levels, and 2 people were able to use the rules of the universe to make space jumps. To be honest, it's a bit too rare. At this point, this can be seen from the sudden influx of a large number of unknown people in Ime Nebula after the incident broke out. These unknown persons, the vast majority are intelligence officers from various ethnic groups. The purpose is to investigate whether this brilliant fleet is really a brilliant fleet. Findings: undoubtedly yes. At least from their survey. The brilliant fleet is indeed real. 3 perfect disguises. The upper echelons of the human race in the universe were not only sighing, but also surprised. At the same time, I looked forward to it even more. Look forward to. What more surprises will Zian bring to them in the future? In fact, the buggers are not stupid either. First timing. The senior officials of the insect race, as well as the powerful people behind Ken Wu-de, contacted Zian. This is also Zian's first conversation with the annihilation-level leader of the insect race. In the screen, he is one of the leaders of the insect race, and also the leader of one of the 3 imperial clans of the central human race. The leader of the ghost mite human race. The human race of ghost crickets. According to the human race's classification of the insect race, they are a type of leech. Software, disgusting. But the strength is strong and tyrannical. The leader of the ghost mite human race in front of him. He is also one of the invincible powerful men below the eternal level in the universe. A peerless 333 strong man on the same level as his master, Wanzhong Shan. #. According to Zian's understanding. The other party also fought with the master for 10 days and 10 nights. In the end it was a close call. You can imagine how powerful the other party is. And at this moment, the communication of the optical brain watch is connected. After seeing Ken Wuda in front of me, the other party's originally serious and indifferent face was suddenly filled with smiles. The smile was full of appreciation and relief. Obviously, when I saw that the caller was indeed a member of the Zhongren tribe, he was completely relieved. As for, is the person in front of me a perfect disguise? Stop it. For countless years, let alone 3 perfect disguises, even perfect disguise has never been achieved. It should be thought that there is a prerequisite to achieve perfect disguise. 10th level evolution master. Now, the strongest one is the eternal level. There are no starships above the eternal level, and evolutionists can't even study the starships above the eternal level. How to reach level 10 evolution master? Unless someone can break through the eternal level, it is possible for a 10th grade evolutionist to appear. But if the human race in the universe is above the eternal level, how can they still engage in such conspiracies? Just go out on the eternal level and sweep across the universe, and that's it. Therefore, I saw that the person in front of me was indeed Queen Ken Wuda. The other party has no doubt at all. If you're enjoying my content, please consider donating a coffee or checking out my shirts on TeePublic. The ugly face of Ken Wuda disguised by Zian was full of excitement. Looking at this ghost might human clan leader, his eyes were full of awe and admiration. It was like seeing a god. I was so excited that I was shaking all over and couldn't help myself. Of course, these must be all faked by Zian. There was a gentle smile on the other person's face, and he said with a smile, Ken Wuda, you performed very, very well this time. It has greatly brought glory to our insect race. Finally, the human race in the damn universe is not alone in its beauty, and this time more than 500 super geniuses from the inhuman race were killed in one go, including more than 70 peerless geniuses in total. The remaining geniuses are more than 400. Thanks to you, Ken Wuda looked excited and humble, and replied respectfully, Great leader of the Qi clan, your praise is the greatest encouragement to me. And I am willing to give everything I have for this. Everything I do is, for our great insect race. Listening to Ken Wuda's humble and respectful words, the leader of the Gulchong tribe seemed to be more satisfied. He nodded slightly and said with a smile, I appreciate your attitude and loyalty very much. But we, the insect race, always reward those who have merit. You have made such a big contribution to our insect race this time. If you have anything you want, you can tell me and we will do everything we can to satisfy you. In addition, having said this, the ghost might human clan leader seemed to be breathing a little faster, and said in a deep voice, in addition, can you tell me how you mastered the method of forward and reverse space travel? Did he master the same method as Zian, the human race from the universe? As long as you contribute, believe me, you will definitely receive the greatest training from our insect race. Perhaps. Is this the true purpose of this ghost wax insect human clan leader? Zian sneered in his heart. This contrast. You can clearly see the difference between the cosmic humans and the insect humans. The human race in the universe is full of tolerance and full of heaven and earth. On the other hand, look at this insect race. After confirming that Ken Wuda has this ability, the leader of the ghost might human race actually came over personally to ask how this method was done. What about the human race in the universe? Even now many people know that they have various magical abilities and secrets. But whether it's the senior human race or others, no one has ever asked for it, no one has even asked. Zian sighed and sneered in his heart, but regret showed on his face, and he said with a mournful face, the great leader of the Qi clan. It's not that I'm unwilling to come up with this method. But this method is more like an instinctive and innate talent. Just like living things can awaken, this ability can also be awakened the day after tomorrow. Last time during the war on the battlefield, when I was fighting with someone, I was almost thrown into the space turbulence. In an emergency, I don't know what's going on. Suddenly, I felt like I could sense the location of the spatial barrier and then open a wormhole to any area. So, I don't even know how I got this ability. Perhaps this is also the reason why Zian from the cosmic human race has acquired this ability for so long, but he is still the only one from the cosmic human race who can use this ability. I believe that he and I both awakened this magical ability by chance. After listening to Zian's words, the leader of the ghost might human race could not help but remain silent. When Zian said his last words, he immediately put aside his last suspicion. Yes. If nothing else, let's talk about the human race, Zian. They have acquired this ability for so many years. But on the human race side of the universe, no one other than him has ever had control. Although this kind of thing seems a bit strange, the universe is so big that there are no wonders. So, he believed it. At this time, Zian said excitedly, but it seems that my ability is stronger than Zian's. Because I seem to be able to open up a bigger wormhole. If nothing else, there is absolutely no problem in allowing an annihilation ship to pass through. As expected. After hearing this, the leader of the ghost might human race, who was still a little regretful, suddenly asked in surprise, "Is this true? Can you really carve out a wormhole this big?" Zian nodded affirmatively. The leader of the Guizhong clan immediately took a deep breath and said in a deep voice, "Very good, very good. Kenwuda, your great contribution to the insect race will be recorded in history for future generations to admire. Let's not talk about this matter now. What are your plans now? Are you coming back? Are you preparing to continue? Or are you going to the human race in the universe? Also, is it very dangerous where you are? If there is any danger, come back immediately. You are now a priceless treasure to our insect race, and we must not let anything go wrong." Zian looked excited. "Thank you, the great leader of the Qi clan, for your concern. But please believe me, I definitely have the experience to protect myself. In addition, I also want to continue to take revenge on the Inhumans. I will go to the Cosmos human race later. After all, it will take several days to go to the Cosmos human race now. These few days are enough for the humans of the universe to make defensive countermeasures. So, it's better to take advantage of these few days and simply continue to control the island from the Inhumans side. If nothing else happens, I will return to the insect race in a few days." The leader of the ghost might human race suddenly showed a smile on his ugly and disgusting face, nodded and said, "Okay. That's as you wish. But if you are in any danger, remember to evacuate immediately. I am in the insect race, waiting for your victory. Now, go ahead and do it. Do whatever you want. Don't worry about the Inhumans' revenge. As long as you don't get caught by them, we will take the revenge of the Inhumans on the insects. You are destined to be the hero of my insect race." Zian grinned. "Wait. That's what you said, you idiot. As for the bugger heroes? Hey. But no. I am really the hero of your insect race. What a great hero. Past the review of the insects. Next." Zian really started to implement his plan. Those 2 times before. Just an appetizer. Real plan. Now it officially begins. The next plan is also very simple. That is, within the territory of the Inhumans, just kill them all. It doesn't matter whether he is a genius or not, it doesn't matter. What's more, geniuses are now protected. Say no more. He took the girls and rushed into a wormhole again. Head towards the next goal. For the next 3 months, it was definitely the darkest 3 months for the Inhumans in nearly a billion years. The Kenwood fleet invaded everywhere. And when you arrive at a place, launch a round of ultra-long-range missiles, and then almost destroy a nearby Inhuman star system, and then loot and replenish it. Then without missing a beat, head to the next area. When their strong men had even just set out to reach this point. The Kenwood fleet, however, has already begun to destroy itself in another very distant place. Although the power of the Inhumans' territorial defense system is turned to 210 to the maximum. Various giant guns and interceptor guns intercepted many ultra-long-range missiles. But the interception rate is not 100%. It took 3 full months. ***. The area destroyed by the Kenwood fleet was almost equivalent to the territory of 2 galaxies. The casualties were countless. The economic losses and territorial losses are even more incalculable. To know. After these star systems are destroyed, there will be no way for people to live in them. The planet has been destroyed, how can we still live on it? Not to mention the countless people who died along with it. Angry. Inhumans. Completely furious. The senior leaders of the Inhumans were also furious. It is said that the patron saint of the Inhumans, the ancient-level powerhouse, was also furious. In anger, it is said that he ran to the insects himself and fought a battle with the insects' eternal ancients. The final result is unknown. But the entire Inhuman race, furious, finally began their own counterattack. In the 3rd month, all Inhumans, not to mention the Inhuman army. The people of the Inhuman race spontaneously rushed to various battlefields to specifically attack and kill the insect race. For example, at least 80% of the 100% of the strength is going towards the insects. Naturally, the insects would not give up, and also mobilized 80% of their strength to deal with it. That is to say, the Inhumans and insects now only have 40% of their combined strength to deal with the cosmic humans. The pressure on the human race in the universe has dropped sharply. And in this case, it is the best time for the human race of the universe to take action. No matter which side the humans in the universe attack, it will be a devastating blow to that side. But at this time, the cosmic human race immediately reduced its strength on the battlefield. Started steady growth and recuperation. After all, at this time, if the cosmic human race really takes action against one of them, this will lead to a power imbalance and eventually trigger a racial war. This is definitely not what the humans in the universe want to see. Again, the human race in the universe is what we look forward to most now. That steady development. Wait quietly for Zian to become strong enough. That time. It's time for the human race of the universe to really exert its strength. Wouldn't it be more beautiful to sit on a mountain and watch tigers fight and reap the benefits? The Inhumans and the insects obviously know what the cosmic humans are planning. But now they don't even have the mind to pay attention to the human race of the universe. The behavior of the insects made the Inhumans furious. After a month of fighting, the two sides were very angry. The purpose of the buggers is simple. Their geniuses lost so much in the hands of Zian. There are not many geniuses in the human race in the universe, and the quality is not high. Moreover, they had killed many geniuses from the human race in the universe before, including one who ranked 2nd on the prodigy list. Ban. In the past few years, in the war with the cosmic human race has also suffered a lot. Their losses to the insect race were not small either. 8. Among 3 ethnic groups. It must be the Inhuman, the one with the least loss. Of course, we cannot just watch the Inhumans grow like this, they are all mortal enemies anyway. Moreover, now dealing with the Inhumans. Anyway, with Kenwood here, he will also target the cosmic human race in the future. There is no doubt about this. I will never just watch the human race in the universe recuperate and reap the benefits. But that comes later. Now, the most important thing is to consume the power of the Inhumans first. Anyway, they don't have many other insectoids, they just have a large population. The combat effectiveness of a single target may not be enough. But in terms of numbers, I'm really not afraid of anyone. For the insects, whose total population is the Inhumans and the cosmic humans combined. With so many losses, it's not like the enemy is at all. But on the insect-human side, finally sent a message to Zian. Let him collect it recently. don't continue to stimulate it, lest the final situation becomes uncontrollable. What's more, recently, the Inhumans have been going through 3 months. I also found a way to cope. Start doing your best to deploy enough defensive weapons and even offensive weapons within the territory, regardless of consumption. So much so, the Inhumans also unveiled their latest technological weapons that have never been made public, ready for deployment across the country. And once their latest technological weapons are deployed, Zian and the others are in danger. But don't underestimate the power of technology. Actually speaking, biological starship is also a branch and part of technological products. The highest technology currently. For high-end starships, many are actually deadly. A small amount is okay, once deployed regardless of consumption. Not to mention the Kenwood fleet. Even if the annihilation ship is here, it may be very dangerous. Not to mention killing you. Just keep you entangled and wait for the opponent's super strong person to arrive. You're gone. Facing the requirements of the top brass of the Zerg tribe, Zian is of course very well behaved and obedient. Responded immediately, and in accordance with the requirements of the top brass of the insects, after once again destroying a nebula-level territory of the Inhumans. He immediately took the girls and rushed into the wormhole. Go in the direction of the insects. Look. It's the Kenwood fleet. Ah. It's really them. Idol. Kenwuda, you are the greatest idol in my mind. My dear god of insects. I actually came into contact with the Kenwood fleet at such a close distance. When the Kenwuda fleet appeared in the insect-human territory, he was immediately treated like a hero by these insectoids. In fact, these past 3 months, Kenwuda and the Wuda fleet, under the massive publicity of the insects and the deliberate cooperation from the humans of the universe, its fame is great. It even overshadowed Zian and Brilliant Fleet at one point. It has become the most popular name in news in the past 3 months. Not to mention the Inhumans. Now the entire Inhuman race hates the Kenwood fleet with all their heart. There are not even many people caring about Zian and Brilliant Fleet anymore. All he could think about was killing Kenwuda and the Kenwuda fleet. In fact, all of this, Zian also knew it. He was also teased several times by other girls. My own fame outweighs my own. Is it okay? It's hard to imagine. What if one day, people like the Inhumans and insects suddenly discover Kenwuda is hated by the Inhumans, but Kenwuda is regarded as a hero by the insects. It turned out to be the time when they all hated Zian. What will it be like? Don't say it. Zian is really looking forward to it. But one thing to say. Expectation is anticipation. But the consequences might be a little too intense. Because you don't have to think about it. By the time angry Inhumans and buggers, he will definitely go crazy and attack the humans in the universe. So, at least for now, this identity must never be exposed. Not only cannot it be exposed, we have to continue to help the insectoids, while striving to gain more of their trust. Stir up greater hatred between them and the Inhumans. To what extent do you want them to hate you? The hatred is so great that even if one day in the future, they find out that they are Kenwuda has died long ago, and everything is just a disguise. Anger is anger, but the deep-rooted hatred between them is no longer something that Kenwuda can affect. To that extent, it is most beneficial to the human race in the universe. That is to say, if nothing unexpected happens within these 5 years, Zian and the girls, I will remain anonymous. Even 5 years later, also remain anonymous. Not only that, and the Inhumans, it must be arranged immediately. Anyway, this game of chess, Zian arranged it very big. Once successful. Reward. It will be unimaginably big. Let's not talk about future gains, just the immediate harvest. In fact, it has already made Zian and the other girls a lot of money. When Zian and the others returned home in triumph. Only the 7th day. Rewards from the top brass of the insect race were distributed. Insect God points. A huge amount of various types of natural materials and earthly treasures. This insect God points. Similar to the military merit value of the human race in the universe. It can be used to exchange for all the most precious things in the highest treasury of the insects. To know. Each ethnic group has its own unique talents and treasures. And there are quite a lot of varieties. There are many natural and earthly treasures of the insect race that have never been obtained by the higher-ups of the human race in the universe, because it is too precious and rare. The insectoids have extremely strict control. There are even many natural and earthly treasures that can be used on starships to give them more features. For example, the energy consumption of the engine is reduced, the smoothness is increased, and the stability is increased. These are all characteristics that can only be given by the unique talents and treasures of some starships of the insect race. And it works very well. Starships from the human race in the universe cannot obtain these characteristics. Even if some starships have these characteristics, they are only obtained from the parts of the insect starships captured on the battlefield. However, the characteristics obtained in this way do not have growth potential or longevity. Because there is no such treasure. Once you have mastered this characteristic, there is no way to evolve. Zian was moved. Very, very excited. Actually, he's in this plan. Obtaining the unique treasures of the insect tribe is also one of the main plans. 0, of course. It is extremely difficult to redeem those unique treasures of heaven, materials and earth. Because of the insects, inhumans, and cosmic humans. Although there is a treasure redemption mechanism. But there are also different levels of exchange restriction mechanisms. For example, for the human race in the universe, no matter how many evolution values you have, it won't work if you don't get a high enough medal. Of course, the current military fleet medal is the highest level. As long as you have enough military merit, you can exchange it for whatever you want in the treasure house of the human race in the universe. The same goes for the insect race. The insect tribe was rewarded with a lot of insect god points this time. Let's put it that way. These insect gods directly added a full 50 trillion wealth value to Zian. This shows how terrifying it is. And plus what Zian had left before, and what he had plundered in the past 3 months. Zian's total wealth now reaches a staggering 95 trillion. There is only the last 5 trillion in wealth left to exceed 100 billion. Not only that. Also in view of Zian's contribution this time. And in order to encourage Zian to work harder and make outstanding contributions to the insects. So I gave it directly to Zian and the others, and opened the highest exchange authority. That is to say, all items in the Zerg clan's treasure house can be exchanged. Anyway. Nothing else to say this time. These rewards alone. Let Zian and the others make a lot of money. What else is there to say? The buggers are so generous. It must be redeemed. Whatever is precious, exchange it for something. Especially those that have specially strengthened themselves and those with special characteristics of starship evolution. If it weren't for the fear of arousing the suspicion of the insects, Zian would have exchanged them all. But even so, Zian also exchanged a lot and was waiting to receive the goods. In addition, there is no rush for the rest. It's still a long time. Take it easy. Zian. One day. This insect race must be completely hollowed out. And it was at this time. The top brass of the insect race contacted Ziangxi again. Contact Zian. Still the leader of the ghost might human race. The pinnacle annihilation level expert of the insect race. The purpose of contacting Zian is also very simple. Just invite Zian and others to come over and train them. By then, there will be an annihilation-level superpower who will personally train them. But Zian declined. Very simple. An annihilation-level powerhouse, and it seems that he is only a first-level annihilation-level powerhouse. What can be cultivated? For Zian and the girls, it is a waste of time. Decline now. It is also to wait for greater contribution to the insect race in the future. Let's see if they can be trained by these top annihilation-level superpowers of the insect race. In this way, only 640 can truly learn enough and extremely secret Star Wars knowledge from the insects. Of course, it's actually just the same thing. It's great to have this opportunity. No, not much trouble. Zian declined. The other party didn't ask any more questions. Instead, he immediately asked Zian about another matter. Is it really possible to do it with an annihilation-level superpower? To this, Zian replied in the affirmative. In fact, this is also part of Zian's plan. Just let the annihilation-level powerhouses of the insect race fall on you. Now it seems the other party has obviously fallen into the trap. This is what Zian has been waiting for. Of course, this is only a preliminary plan at the current stage by the top management of the Chinese people. The specific plan content has not yet been truly completed. After picking up the call with Zian continued to buy. After buying all kinds of the rarest and top-notch treasures of heaven and earth, they would be transported and stored in the territory of the human race on the Little Wife Brilliance. Then continue to run over for transportation. About half a month passed like this. Zian and the girls. Action started again. As the saying goes, act the whole way. This time, Zian went there. It's the cosmic human race. Yes. Action against the human race in space. But definitely not messing around. The target of this operation is a star system of the human race in the universe. The reason for choosing the star system. The reason is simple, based on intelligence. This is the headquarters of a human trader from the cosmic human race who took refuge with the Inhumans. Hundreds of billions of people in the entire galaxy are either members of this traitorous human race or their family members. Anyway, nothing good. In order to gain greater trust from the insectoids. To achieve the ultimate goal, he will definitely take action against the human race in the universe. What's more, this human traitor. The humans in the universe know it, and the higher-ups of the Inhumans also know it, but the humans don't know it. And it's impossible for anyone to tell them. Perhaps we can only wait until one day in the future, when Zian's identity is truly exposed. Only then will this secret be exposed. He didn't even say hello to the top brass of the insect race. Zian, with his fleet, went straight to the territory of the cosmic human race and killed them. Of course. Before taking action, he must have told Wan Zhongshan and others about his plan. After that, there will be high-level cooperation from the cosmic human race. Completely gain the trust of the insectoids. A few days later, the famous Kenwuda fleet appeared within the human race in the universe. Then Kenwuda, still acting like the Inhumans, published a post on the universe public network in an extremely arrogant way. The useless Inhumans can be beaten by everyone. Next, it's the turn of your cosmic human race. You, the cosmic human race, don't think you can hide, right? Also, I heard that there is a guy named Zian in your cosmic human race who is very good. He is still as bright as ever, haha. The title of the post is called Arrogant and Domineering. But it made all the girls cover their lips and chuckle, their eyes full of interest. Then I watched the post reach the top instantly, and all races in the universe commented below. The insectoids were naturally very excited, waving their flags and shouting, Netizens from the inhuman race and the cosmic human race united for the first time and started criticizing Zian one after another. Especially the cosmic human race, they all ridiculed Ken Wuda, saying that in front of their cosmic human race, Zian, you Ken Wuda are scum, garbage, and trash. The scolding was so unpleasant. Looking at these comments, Zian smiled. After all, the post was made by me. The one being scolded is Ken Wuda. What does it have to do with me, Zian? Immediately afterwards, Zian used his optical brain watch to reply to this post. Oh, come and try it, I'll wait for you. The girls looked at him with strange eyes. Is it okay to scold myself, ridicule myself, and argue with myself? The key thing is that Zian was smiling so much that his lips reached to his ears, and he was having a great time. Post finished. There was a queue with Wan Zhongshan, Qi Jingyi, and others, as well as someone pretending to be himself. After confirming that person, immediately set off towards the target star system. At this moment, the whole universe, because of this post posted by Zian, became excited and paid attention again. The Inhumans were really relieved. One thing to say, the fighting style of the Kenwood fleet really gave them a headache. Needless to say, the human race of the universe, although they have all kinds of complaints about Ken Wuda, they still have to worry about what they should be worried about. The top management immediately contacted Zian and confirmed that Zian had arrived in the territory of the cosmic human race, that is, after 0.8 was about to take action against the cosmic human race. Even the leader of the ghost might human race gave a wry smile and told Zian to calm down. At the same time, it made the Inhumans and the cosmic humans completely furious. The insectoids don't have that much ability to withstand pressure. After all, in this case, we can't blame others for joining forces, because the insect race themselves caused all this, so what can we do? Is it possible that you hit someone and yet you don't allow them to hit you? That doesn't make sense. But Zian was already ready to take action, so he couldn't say anything. I can only let him take it easy. In my heart, I have complete trust in Zian. A plan that has been in preparation for this period of time. Also prepared to wait for Zian and others to come back. Start executing now. The human race of the universe, outside the gathering place of the traders. Zian showed no mercy. Even the live broadcast was started again. It can be said. This live broadcast starts. Then the moment the star system was exploded. The whole universe, except for those few insiders. There is no doubt that Zian has completely replaced Ken Wuda's identity. Not only that. Zian continued to mock and ridicule the human race of the universe and Zian in the live broadcast room. Well, that is, making fun of yourself. It's a flower to play with. The netizens of the cosmic human race were so angry that countless people rushed towards this direction at the first time. And Zian, after confirming that he had killed this star system, was clamoring to go to the next point and continue to eliminate the human race in the universe. As a result, at this moment, the top brass of the insect clan suddenly contacted him and sent him a message. It is said that the cosmic human race, Zian, and his fleet disappeared just now. When Zian heard this, his face suddenly changed 06 and he hurriedly roared, "Quick! Run away!" Then without saying anything, he took the lead and started escaping. And not long after he escaped, starships suddenly appeared out of nowhere and launched an extremely fierce pursuit of him. There are 6 or 7 of these starships and townships, as well as one supreme ship. Not only that. Among these starships, I also saw a familiar figure. Brilliant fleet. Zian was shocked. At the same time, the familiar and angry voice of Zian also sounded in the universe public channel. Trash Ken Wuda, why are you running away? Didn't you say that I, Zian, am nothing? Now that I'm here, you're here to kill me. Don't run away if you can. The roar of Zian still sounded behind him, but Zian ran away crazily without looking back, with a livid face. Dash. It almost made the girls of the brilliant fleet laugh out loud. Don't tell me yet. The brilliant fleet behind them really acted like that. It can be said that there are no flaws. At least he endured it and ran away, pretending to be panicked. The high-level officials of the insect race who were paying close attention to the entire process were also anxious. Immediately, a super-strong man from the Zerg race set out to pick him up. But he didn't dare to talk to Zian, for fear of disturbing him at this time. In the live broadcast room, the Inhumans and the cosmic humans are having a great time. The Inhumans looked at this damn Ken Wu-da and wanted to escape like a bereaved dog. Not to mention the cosmic human race, all of them were extremely excited. It has to be Zian from the human race in our universe. Look, what if you think Wu-da is awesome? What if you have the same ability as our Zian? The human race in our universe is not the alien race, we have Zian. Don't even think about letting the tragedy of the Inhumans happen to the humans in our universe. Zerg netizens are naturally worried. But there was no other way but to pray that the Kenwood fleet could escape. Escape. That must be escapable. When escaping to the No Man's Sky area, Zian closed the live broadcast room. The brilliant fleet stopped immediately. The brilliant fleet and the powerful warriors of the cosmic human race who were chasing behind them also stopped one by one, and heartfelt smiles appeared on their originally angry faces. Well done, Zian said with a smile. Brilliant fleet Zian suddenly smiled and said, Brother Su, you taught me well, hee hee. The other strong men from the human race in the universe laughed one after another. Su Tianjiao, when we received the order, wow, I was dumbfounded. Who says it's not the case? When the people above told us that Ken Wu-da is actually Su Tianjiao, that heart. Haha, let me tell you, the human race in our universe has a Su Tianjiao. How lucky can the insect race be to produce a Ken Wu-da? It turns out you are playing Su Tianjiao, so it's okay. That's awesome. Now that the insects and Inhumans are beating their brains out, we have enough time to develop. These strong men responded with smiles. Zian looked at the time and said, It's almost time. Come on, shoot at us, and then leave first, so as not to make the insectoids suspicious. Everyone nodded immediately. Then the strong humans controlled their strength and began to bombard the starships of Zian and the girls. After the damage was almost done, Zian didn't wait long. A big wave of his hand. Just like that, a huge wormhole appeared in front of everyone, and the few powerful human beings all had expressions on their faces that said, sure enough, that's true. Obviously, they all guessed this magical and heaven-defying ability that Zian mastered. Now, it just confirms their guess. Immediately, without further delay, he plunged into the wormhole and quickly disappeared. As for how to explain how to escape later, just explain it casually. There is no need to explain too much. 840, anyway. Even if there is no explanation, after all these disguises, the insectoids will definitely not suspect anything. This is enough. As expected. When the Kenwood fleet reappeared in the insect territory, the insect leaders and the insect people all breathed a sigh of relief. The higher-ups of the insect tribe asked casually, and Zian found a reason at random, and as expected, he got away with it without anyone suspecting it. They were satisfied to see the Kenwood fleet come back alive. After letting Zian and the others restore the starship, they didn't ask any more questions. However, the high-level officials of the insect race have repeatedly warned Zian that he must not go to the territory of the cosmic race at will in the near future. In addition, Zian and the others were asked not to act privately again. After that, their senior leaders will act together. Zian has nothing to do and is waiting for them too. That's all. About 10 days passed. The top brass of the insect race finally contacted Zian and the others again. Plan already formulated. Next, we need Zian and the others to cooperate and execute the plan together. And because the human race in the universe has Zian. Therefore, the first target of this plan was the Inhumans. Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.